Cutting through, claiming a night like any other guys. And only if I could give you a chance, show me that you mean it, we'll feel some type of way. would you be happy in the end? So is it all for nothing? Was it all for nothing? Those memories. Was it all for nothing? Was it all for nothing? So is it all for nothing?
I've been drinking Kool-Aid cameras like I did when I was 9, 'cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. I think I need therapy. My fear gets the best of me. I can't seem to understand how you do this to me. You've been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead. I didn't know I was a casualty until you stopped my heart and you made me see I need love.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to USA States Cup 2021 Winners Bracket Final Sunday. It is here at last. The match that will determine who is going to be entering the grand finals for a spot in the top 2 from that winner's side. Who's going to drop down loser's bracket, still play in the top 3, but have things be a little more difficult for whoever loses this one. On the left-hand side, it is going to be Team Virginia back in the winners' final for the second year running. This time as the number 1 seed. Last year they came in as the number 2 seed. Of course, dropped a beatdown in that match last year on Ohio, demolishing them 7-1 to make it to the grand finals. Looking to reprise that placement here in 2021. Of course, a weakened Virginia team, unfortunately, for this match, as Rectagon and Wixinator had those tourney bans handed down to them, so they'll be rolling with BTMC, Tony, Failing, and Kron as their remaining 4 members. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the right, Team Florida, the number 2 seed, back to the winner's bracket final for the first time since 2018, where they won over Ohio. Seems to be a little bit of a trend in a tiebreaker, 7-6, to make it to the grand finals back then. This is their first time back in the winners' final since, with the roster that's looking very similar to what we've seen in past years. Exarch, Digital Hypno, Cappy, Fleslin, Skill, and Almighty Door, the lone newcomer to that squad here in 2021. And we'll see what they can do here. I think all eyes are going to be on this Florida team. They are feeling, I think, probably pretty confident going into this matchup, knowing what they know about the Virginia team and the weakened state that they will be in. But they've still got to play the match. We still got to find out what's actually going to happen, and that's going to start right about now. We're going to go into the first warm-up here coming from Florida. It is, of course, their bread and butter, the tried and true Coconut Mall warm-up for Team Florida. Oh, don't do this to me, Twitch. Thank you. So we'll get into the warm-up, and we'll get kind of underway here. They have Virginia losing their top performer. Rectagon has been their biggest carry over the past 2 years, was a big part of why they got to the grand finals last year, was a big part of what got them to this finals match this year. And so they're going to have to figure out what they can do without him and what they can do without Wixnader, who was playing quite well for them this year against Florida, who beat SoCal 6-4 last week in a semifinal that was incredibly closely contested. Came down to the last moment of multiple maps in that one. Florida just eking out a win thanks to skill, nearly FCing asymmetry at the very end of that match to close out the 6-4. Virginia, of course, with the 6-5 tiebreaker win over Massachusetts, had a very close match as well. We were very fortunate in those winners semifinals last week. Of course, the matches this week have not been quite so close, with the SoCal 7-0 sweep over North California yesterday, and the Ohio 7-2 victory over Massachusetts on Friday night. Kay, I swear to God, all right, sorry, you guys are going to hear typing here for just a second. All right, well, sorry about that. But, yeah, so that was the warm-up for Florida. We missed the ending of. And then Virginia will go into their warm-up. And I just totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so SoCal, yeah, SoCal 7-0 sweep over NorCal. Utami putting out on a show for all of us. That was a ridiculous performance from the player who has quickly emerged as one of the top, if not the top, tournament players in the United States. Obviously, Vaxe probably holds that title until he actually loses a tournament, but currently more or less inactive, so I don't consider him really in that running. Fancy Lad probably the other candidate for that spot. But Utami has done remarkable things over the past several months and has been playing incredibly well. And he'll look to take SoCal past Ohio in loser's bracket match that'll be a little bit later on this evening after this one ends. That'll be our second match of the day. That'll be the one that follows this match up. SoCal versus Ohio got a reschedule. It was originally going to be tomorrow. Is now going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern this evening. But first, we have our winners final, and we have to see if, hopefully Florida doesn't get overconfident or anything after their win last week and against a team that is missing its best player. I think, they could be maybe forgiven a little bit for thinking that this is not going to be the most difficult match that they've played. And so we're going to go into the ban phase. Florida will have the first ban. And it's quickly going to be a Hidden 2, banned out by both Digital Hypno and Exarch. They really want to ban Hidden 2, which is kind of interesting. I don't know what your specific sort of bans against a Virginia team that's missing Rectagon are. Normally, kind of raw mechanics are his forte, but Hidden 2 bans out Kron. That's the only map that he typically plays if they have Tony here. The quick Fremod 3 ban. Solon gets banned out by Virginia. These guys are running through these bans. Florida with the double Hidden ban. Go ahead and ban out Hidden 1 and Hidden 2, so we get rid of Dopamine and His World. So you have the very tricky rhythm-changing Tech Hidden 1 and the low approach rate, difficult to aim, overlap heavy Hidden 2 banned out from Florida. Fremod 3, Soulwind is the very streamy Fremod pick. And so now Virginia taking a little bit more time with that second ban. It's going to be Hard Rock 2. All right, so I don't have to worry about local recording. We don't have to worry about the match getting globally blocked on YouTube now. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. And the instant Nomad 6 first pick, they took 0 time on that one. It is going to be Gokuro, the first pick here from Virginia. This is KTGster's map of Gokuro, for those who are maybe a little less familiar with it. CS5. Very finger control heavy. Kind of micro aim. Quite a difficult pick for a lot of players. This one requires a skill set that not everyone is going to be super familiar with. Free PP, except it's not the PPDT map. This one is a little bit different. We're going to get underway here. Map number 1 of our winners bracket finals. Virginia versus Florida. Kron, Tony, BTMC for Virginia against Exarch, Digital Hypno, and Almighty Door for Florida. Instant Nomad 6. Awkward aim finger control pick from the Virginia side. An interesting way to get this one started, but perhaps maybe a little resigned to their fate based on what they were saying in chat. We'll have to see, though. I think Virginia, even with the players that they have, still are capable of putting forth good performances. They're by no means a weak team, but they are weaker than they would be otherwise. I don't think any team that had Rectagon and no longer has Rectagon can avoid that fate. But, you know, if Florida got overconfident by knowing that he wasn't going to be there or has a little bit of an off day, this match could be very interesting anyway. But so far, just Digital Hypno holding through the first 400-500 combo. This one, you see chain misses everywhere. Kron, BTMC, and Tony all finding some resets. And this one going well in the favor of Florida thanks to Digital Hypno by himself, putting up 200k. Only needs 100k combined from his teammates to maintain a lead here. And this is just going to be Florida running with this, with Digital Hypno maintaining the full combo. Accuracy be damned, he does not care. He just wants to hold the combo game because this is not really an ACK map. This is the sort of thing where when you see how many breaks come out of so many people, you just want to make sure to keep a combo alive. And this is going to be an untouchable sort of performance. Regardless of what Virginia does here, this score from Digital Hypno is very, very impressive. 90% ACK be damned. He's 5% behind Exarch, but he has the 1k combo, and it is a 400,000 point lead for Florida. We might be able to see a 1v3 here if Tony breaks near the end. He is only 40k behind the combined score of Virginia. And that is giving Florida a 500,000 point lead. Digital Hypno saying, I am taking this match as seriously as any other. With Tony putting on a very solid combo here for Virginia, we're not going to see a 1v5. Or 1v3, excuse me. But, well, it was actually 6k. By 6k, it is a 1v3 from Digital Hypno on map number 1. That's exactly what Florida wants to see to start off the match. 1v3 performance, a 1-0 breakpoint lead, and Florida gets going exactly how they wanted to in this match. And yeah, the only player from Virginia who really had much of a good time with that at all was Tony. The rest really struggling. And so Florida will take a 1-0 breakpoint lead into their own first pick. And we'll see which way they want to go with this. And it is a very quick Hard Rock 3 pick. So that is the instant Ain't Nothing Like Funky Beat. Very difficult Hard Rock 3 here. One of the hardest picks in the pool. 142 BPM. Alt aim. Very tricky alternating aim map. Gonna expect to see some kind of mixed sorts of scores on this one. This is a tough map to be consistent on. The aim requirement on this map is pretty high, and it's just an awkward sort of BPM and everything to play as well. That's Florida's first pick, and they know that I think Hard Rock is a pretty reasonable place to go with Wixinator and Rectagon gone for Virginia. That opens up the Hard Rock pool to a Florida team that's already good at Hard Rock to begin with. You know, Florida did play some Hard Rock against SoCal and had some pretty good results. Like I said, they won the Hard Rock 1 Asymmetry. That was the map that closed out their match against SoCal to put them into this final. So clearly a team that relishes Hard Rock aim. But this map is a different sort of beast entirely. So it's going to call upon Skill, Digital Hypno, and Fleslin to play quite well on it, but against failing Tony and BTMC, I don't know that Virginia really has the performers on this type of map for this matchup. Kind of awkward rhythms that this one throws in, some weird aim patterns are going to be very challenging for everyone in here as we see early breaks from both Failing and Fleslin to get things started. Skill, Digital Hypno, Tony, and VTMC, the ones to hold so far. Skill at 99 AC, known as a ridiculously strong Hard Rock AC player, of course. Nothing less is expected of him. And thus it is an early lead for Florida just based on accuracy. The combo identical between all players. But the 3% AC lead for Skill over anyone from Virginia is helping things out for Florida to take about a 30K lead so far. It's one of those situations, though, where there's a lot of map left. Got to keep that consistency up and make sure you're comfortable with the rhythm the entire way through. That's going to hurt. That's a break from Fleslin. Failing holds on for Virginia. The lead will go their way if they can hold on a bit longer. Skill and BTMC trade, so that's one FC gone per team. Digital Hypno and Tony, the ones left. But that Failing combo is helping out Virginia a lot, trying to bring this score gap back. Skill with another break. That is not what Florida need. That's going to be the lead going over. Skill starting to have a lot of trouble here. Made it through the first third just fine, but has really kind of fallen apart. He'll have to get things back together if Florida wants to make a comeback from now a Virginia sizable combo advantage. There's a break from Failing. That was what Florida needed. They now take the combo lead and the score lead back. Skill continues to struggle, but Fleslin backing up Digital Hypno's FC. Tony still with the FC for Virginia, but not a lot of backing combo. There goes Digital Hypno, though. Now things get scary. There's only one FC left in the lobby. It is Tony. 97% AC, not doing too badly for himself. Fleslin with the break. There's really no combo on Florida. That's huge. As long as Tony holds for Virginia, he will be able to keep this lead on their side for the first time in this map for a decent amount of time. Still a third to come. There is plenty of time left. Florida needs to get back to their comfort zone on this pick. And there goes Tony's FC. Combo advantage back to Florida now. This is going back and forth, seesawing wildly between the teams. Nobody able to hold a combo once they got through that first third or so of the map. Failing the next to break. Florida takes a bigger combo lead. Tony breaking. Again, there goes BTMC. It's a full combo reset for Virginia. That is exactly what Florida needed. Skill breaking, but Digital Hypno and Fleslin holding on comfortably. Let's see if they can bring this into the last quarter of the map with those combos intact. And the answer to that is going to be no. Fleslin breaking once again. Digital Hypno again going to be called on for Florida to try and carry the way. It is about a 50K lead is all, and he does find a break. Combo lead back to Virginia. Failing breaks, skill breaks. Is there going to be enough time? Is there enough combo? BTMC at about a 250 combo, and Tony just shy of 200. It's going to be devilishly close. It's about 30K. All that separates the team. Is there enough combo in this ending, though? That's the question that we're going to answer, and I think it's going to be a no, but man, this is going to come down to the wire here. It's still 30K, though. Enough combo on Florida to maintain the lead. And by 40,000 points, Florida just barely take their first point. Their own first pick puts them up 2-0. That was a lot closer than they would have liked it to be. The way that Skill and Digital Hypno started that map off, it seemed like they were going to just have a runaway. Digital Hypno with just the one actual miss. But they kind of had trouble through that middle third and gave Virginia the opportunity. They just were not quite able to take it. And so that's going to be a 2-0 lead. Very, very closely fought map. You can see the 583k on Tony, 563k on Digital Hypno, but Skill able to put up that 441k backing score was enough. And Virginia now are going to go into into No Mod 2. I think you kind of had to expect this to come from them. Even without Rectigon, they do still have BTMC on that team, who is, of course, one of the premier stream players in this tournament. He's one of the few who will be truly comfortable with this pick. Freedom Dive, the modern take on the map from the Frenzy map set. This one just shy of 7-star, 222 BPM streams. And this was, I think, always going to be a Virginia pick, as I said. We'll see what their backup players will do. BTMC going to be the one favored to do the best on this. I think one of the few players who's truly comfortable with the streams in this map at this BPM. There are not a lot of players who are super comfy on this type of map. Exarch, Digital Hypno, Almighty Door for Florida. Failing and Tony join BTMC on the Virginia side. I think that's going to be basically the three we're going to see. Kron largely on their team as expected for kind of the gimmickier, like hidden and such, low AR, etc. But I think all eyes and a lot of pressure on BTMC here. Will he be able to live up to expectations on this map is the question. It is as tricky in many ways as the original Nakagawa Kanon top diff. Perhaps not quite as hard as 4 Dimensions, thanks to not being AR9, the reading aspect of this one a bit easier. The density not as high, up at AR 9.6. But what it lacks in those aspects, it definitely makes up for in having some very tricky aim and very long streams, of course, as befits any map of Freedom Dive. So in we go. We'll see how well the players can handle the task that is placed before them of a lengthy 4 minutes plus No Mod 2. So far, so good is the answer for both teams. Able to maintain the early combos comfortably. Usually players able to get in at least several hundred combo. You expect them to get this far in the map without any breaks. This is the easy part of the map, relatively speaking. The accuracy staying quite high basically across the board. 1,400 point lead for Virginia is meaningless. That is the margin of a couple 100s and little more. But we have to wait for the map to truly begin in earnest. And it takes a little bit of time, around this 1/3 mark. Get through these longer streams, some difficult slider jumps. They're going to catch out Almighty Door. You see people breaking there with some degree of frequency, so that gives the lead over to Virginia, and that's long enough in that it's an 800 plus combo advantage. All 3 members of Virginia holding on just fine. Very good accuracy as well. And now Florida on the back foot. How long can Virginia keep this up is going to be the question, because Exarch and Digital Hypno still holding just fine. Exarch at the highest accuracy in the lobby, 99.82. About 0.4% ahead of Tony. But Virginia yet to find a break as we crest the halfway mark of the map. There's a 100k lead, thanks to Almighty Door's slider break. Those slider jumps will get you just like that. Florida has some ground to make up. They need at least one, if not a couple breaks from Virginia. The map does get very hard, though, in this back half, in the last third. Oh, Exarch, what did he just break on? Excuse me? Exarch misses on nothing. And now Virginia are just free to fly. that is a crushing blow to Florida's chances on this map. They are going to fall out of it quickly. There goes Digital Hypno. Still the three-way FC for Virginia. Well, it is now basically a foregone conclusion. Virginia, the stream state. Doesn't even matter that they don't have Rectagon. They're three-weighing Freedom Dive through 1,700 plus combo. A remarkable performance from their team on this map. Exarch with the oops. Fortunately for him, it would not actually have mattered. This is an incredible play from Virginia. Let's just see how long they can hold on to the three-way FC, because I don't know that anybody really saw the performance of this tier coming from this team after missing out on a couple very strong players. Kind of wondering at this point why Virginia banned out Free Mod 3. I don't know that that one makes much sense anymore. Failing and BTMC do both break. These doubles are quite tricky, easy enough to miss on, but Tony's still holding strong. Does finally find a slider break, but the damage has been done. It's a 900,000 point lead for Virginia. They're going to be winning this one, no doubt. Man, you know, Virginia, I feel like could have figured out a roster for Free Mod 3, right? Like, there's a world in which they could have had a passable roster for Free Mod 3, considering how much stronger than Florida they were on this Snow Mod 2. Maybe the fact of that one being 200 instead of 222 BPM was their big worry, because Florida will be more comfortable at a lower BPM. But, man, 2.4 million is like a nuts score on that map regardless, so very much surprised to... kind of in hindsight, very much surprised that they banned Free Mod 3, considering what they're obviously capable of doing on stream maps. But I guess that's that. It's going to be the first point on the board for Virginia on their second pick. But now it will, of course, go back over to Florida for their own second pick. And it's going to be a relatively quick one. It's going to be double time number 3. So we're going to get, for the first time in this match, Hafuri, the Undead Corporation DT pick. And this is a bold move from Florida, because none other than Tony is rank 1 on this map on Bancho. This is daring from them. Obviously the Florida thought process here being that, yeah, Tony's rank 1 on this, but that doesn't mean the rest of their team will do well on it. So, I don't know, kind of interesting for me to see this decision being made by Florida. Clearly comfortable enough, though, with the speed requirement and the finger control on this map, as well as the aim. CS5A are 10.13 and 2.5 minutes long. This is a Tony map. He's going to do well in this. I don't think there's really much of a question there, but what's going to be the bigger question is what to expect out of the Florida side. So it's going to be Exarch, Digital Hypno, and Fleslin coming in for Florida on this one. Of course, failing Tony BTMC for Virginia. Gonna expect good things out of Tony. And we'll see what failing and BTMC have to offer as Virginia looks to level out the match if they can find a break point here. Meanwhile, Florida, Exarch, Digital Hypno, Fleslin, I think is a pretty strong roster for this. We know Digital Hypno has been pretty decent at speed. It's not like his known skill set, but able to play DT pretty comfortably. So is Exarch. Fleslin always feels like a little bit of a wild card on pretty much any pick. You just never know what to expect out of him. So watch his screen and just kind of out of idle curiosity more than anything else. We get a little bit more Bancho lag. There we go. This one, a relatively consistent 218. Does have some changing BPM, but it's around the 220 range. So not the fastest thing in the world. It's more about the finger control and that slider aim. Tony BTMC both breaking early. So does Fleslin. But now Florida with a 2FC to 1 advantage. And there goes failing, make that 2FC to 0. All right, well, Tony, the big expectations on his shoulders. We'll see what he can do the rest of the way. There's a lot of maps still. That's a second break. Not sure if his Mind is just not in it. You don't expect him to do poorly on a map like this. This is firmly within his skill set. Obviously known as a speedy player with very good finger control on higher BPM bursts. But so far, it is Florida just dominating this pick as Exarch and Digital Hypno continue to hold on to their full combos, and Fleslin at a 300-400 combo. Goer accuracy, but combo alive, which is more than some of the players on Virginia's side can say. 98 on Exarch, doing quite well in the accuracy department for him. And just about halfway through, it's already a 400 to 500k lead for Florida. This is just a pick that's working out quite well for them so far. Exarch does find his first break. So there will go one of those FCs for Florida. A little bit of their cushion gone. And a lot of their cushion gone. Digital Hypno breaking as well. Tony and BTMC have both put together near 500 combo. It's 500k. Florida established a big lead for themselves, but there's half the map to go, which means it is not over despite that score lead. There goes Fleslin. There is now no combo on Florida. This is a big one for Virginia, as Tony and BTMC looking to make them regret this pick. That score gap is going to start to come down pretty fast, but we've only got a quarter of the map left. If either of them breaks, it may be doomed. It's BTMC. It's a three-way reset for Florida. Failing, missing as well. Everybody breaking on that buzz slider. And Tony does not have 400k worth of score left on his own, unfortunately. This could have been doable for Virginia if BTMC had been able to hold, but unfortunately just found that break with everyone else other than Mr. Tony over there, who looks like he will put up a top score, or at least near. But unfortunately, those breaks early on for Virginia really just dooming them on this. You'll see the score is going to come back and be relatively close by the time said and done, which gives you an inkling of how easily this could have gone the other way if Virginia had just had a little bit of a better first half of the map. Just two misses from Tony, 697k, top scoring by 90,000. I mean, that is a very good score, but just did not have the backing that they needed, and it's a 226,000 point win for Florida. Despite a somewhat subpar showing from Failing, that was closer than you might have expected it otherwise. And that's going to be Florida holding their break point still. 2 points of their own picks won, and of course, break point on the first map. That gives them this 3-1 lead. We go into Virginia's next pick. And what is it going to be? As they maybe wish they had that free mod 3 available to them. Not a lot else that's going to be streamy in this pool now. I mean, you do have double time 2 if they want to go kind of a raw speed option. Double time 1 as well if they want to just go high AR. Sakura Nozenya and Knight of Faith and Brother. But I don't really... It's hard to know what skill set to expect Virginia to pick into with the roster that they have. They're not going to pick Tech, I don't think. There's very low likelihood of that. They don't have Hidden available unless they want to go Hidden 3, but I don't think that's a comfortable map for any of them, you know, compared to any more so than Florida. And they're going to go with the pick that you go with when you don't know what else to pick. It's going to be Nomad 1. Shinko wa Hakanaki Ningen no Tame ni. Quite a mouthful there. So it is a Nomad 1 alert in progress. I think this is what happens when a team doesn't have a clearly delineated skill set that they're favored over their opponents on. They just say, screw it, Nomad 1. This one, 7.25 stars, just under 4 minutes, 190 BPM. It's a Sky Tuna. Lots of aim. A little bit more of a traditional Nomad 1 as compared to last week, which had some awkward aspects to it. I think you just pick Nomad 1 because your team is your team is not favored in any skill set over your opponents, and everybody in this match will have a roster for aim. It's basically the fallback sort of pick. As long as you're not like the worst aim team in the world, you will probably be able to find 3 players who can play aim. So we've got Failing, Tony, BTMC against Skill, Digital Hypno, Fleslin. We knew We knew Skill liked this Nomad 1 a lot more than last week, so we're going to expect good things out of him. I'm a little surprised to see Fleslin in on this over Exarch. I know his aim is really good, but I feel like Fleslin's performance tends to be a lot more variable than Exarch. I think Exarch, you know you're probably going to get a solid score on no matter what, whereas Fleslin might FC and he might put up 400k, and there's literally no way of knowing which one it's going to be. But so far, so good. As to be expected before we've really gotten any of the hard parts. Everyone holding full combo into the first chorus. Very comfortable aim patterns as to be expected out of Sky Tuna. Tony, though, falling on the stream of all things. When you miss on stream in a Nomad 1, that is a certified bruh moment. I know that feeling all too well, unfortunately. There go Digital Hypno and Skill, though. Florida loses 2 of its FCs at the end of the first Ki. Failing BTMC able to take over for Virginia while Fleslin tries to hold down the fort on the Florida side. Tony's struggling, but his teammates making up for it, and they're going to take this lead back eventually because that is a pretty decent combo lead. Only about 30k score and dropping, separating the teams. And the score will go on over to the Virginia side here, as long as they can hold for about another 3 seconds. There it is. See what Failing and BTMC can bring as Fleslin drops the last combo for Florida. Huge advantage now, Virginia. BTMC and Failing looking very strong on this pick. Obviously, BTMC known as an incredibly strong mechanics player. Failing looking likewise. A lot of work now for Florida. Score lead 100k in favor of Virginia quickly, and it's like it just doesn't even matter what Tony does at this point because Failing and BTMC have a double FC still intact, just shy of 2/3 through the map. So into the solo we go. Some big jumps here. Failing does find an under aim on the back and forths. That is going to be very detrimental to Virginia. Their cushion now gone. Digital Hypno Skill hitting it, and so did Fleslin. Digital Hypno breaks on a little burst. So it's all up to BTMC now as Fleslin breaks on the giant jump. Skill hits, so does BTMC, and that is possibly going to be enough as long as he holds through the next big jump section here. And he does, of course. BTMC, the quality aim player that you need in your team. Skill hot on his heels, but he's not going to have enough score left pretty much no matter what at this point. So Virginia should have done enough by now. 200,000 point lead. There goes Skill and Fleslin. Well done to Virginia. As expected, this is the type of thing when you have a team that's pretty good at mechanics, you might as well just coin flip the Nomad 1. BTMC does find a break, but not going to matter. You might as well just coin flip the mechanics because what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you lose a map that you thought it was a 50-50 on either way, or maybe you win it because you've got BTMC and Failing to both put up very good scores. I mean, that's pretty decent rationale for a pick here in a situation like this one. Now, that is a very solid performance from Virginia once again. I mean, putting Tony's 300k aside, almost 800k, actually it's going to be over 800k from BTMC and a 640k from Failing. That's better scores than anything that Florida was able to put up. And wow, Digital Hypno and Fleslin, identical scores, 49k on both. Okay then, that's kind of cool. Don't know that you see that sort of thing happening very often. Skill put up the best score at 545k, but just did not make much of a difference because those scores from Virginia too strong. BTMC coming through in the clutch. Hard to know at any point what to expect. Sometimes he has felt over the past few weeks, there have been times where he's felt like maybe not the best performance, but I think today he is coming good, as they say. Putting forth the scores that his team needs to win on Nomad 2 and now on Nomad 1. 813k on Nomad 2, 812k on Nomad 1. That is some consistency. That is some consistency is what that is. You'll love to see it. And Virginia, 2 points on the board. I mean, a mechanics-favored team picking mechanics and winning. I think that's kind of what their strat has to be. The problem is there's only so much mechanics to be found in the pool. I don't know where they're going to go next from here. But first, Florida has to pick, and Florida is, unsurprisingly, I think, going to go into No Mod 4. I mentioned previously, we're not going to expect Virginia to pick Tech. We're not going to expect them to feel super great on Tech. And Florida looking to exploit that weakness right here and right now with that No Mod 4. It's going to be Bleed Blood, the Mirror Tech map. Will we see Kron in for Tech, or is he going to remain benched? That is the question. Looks like he may be remaining benched. I think you expect BTMC and Tony in for this, but it's a failing versus Kron as the decision for the third player. And it's going to be failing indeed, staying in, so we will still not get to see poor Kron 05. The things that happen when you are a low AR hidden player and low AR hidden is banned. This is going to be an interesting one, though. This map actually kind of has some speed elements to it. Some 1/6 bursts show up. So, gotta make sure that you're capable of playing those comfortably and don't get caught off guard. So we got Digital Hypno, Cappy, Fleslin in for Florida on their own pick, failing Tony and BTMC for Virginia. Cappy, of course, largely known as a stream player, but I think somewhat underrated in terms of tech maps. Usually capable of putting forth very good performances on these, and we'll have to see if he can do that here. It's a very long one as well. Gonna have some stamina, gonna have some consistency. This map over 4 minutes. Got a lot of very long maps in this pool, so drawing on that consistency element in addition to the raw difficulty. We'll see some act drops on those quick bursts, failing in Digital Hypno especially there on that first one. And there's BTMC's act as well. So quite a well-rounded tech map. Very tricky slider aim, some bursts, some changing rhythms, micro aim. It's got a lot of the elements that you would expect out of an archetypal tech map from Mirror. All set to, of course, a banger of a track by Camellia, which we all know, one of the most popular tech map artists. And there go 2 combos from Florida early. Digital Hypno and Fleslin both breaking in this early stage. Virginia finding misses on Tony and BTMC prevents them from taking the lead. It's Cappy now with a 99 AC FC against failing with a 93 AC. That's going to help Florida out quite a bit as they take the combo lead back. A lot of map in front of us, though. This is a lengthy one. Fleslin with a slider break. BTMC follows up Cappy, though, the next. So that means failing. The lone FC left in the lobby. And a decent combo from both Tony and BTMC backing him up. BTMC with the Bancho miss. Means that Virginia will take this lead over. Florida causing their fans some heart attacks here on their own picks. Virginia, you know, just because they're missing Rectigon and Wixinator doesn't mean this match is a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination. There goes Digital Hypno with a combo gone. Cappy and Fleslin both reset as well. It's a huge combo advantage to Virginia. Failing does find a break on his FC. BTMC follows it up. Tony follows it as well. They did not get to take advantage of that lead. Nope, BTMC holds. That was a Bancho. Thank you for the fake miss. Let's see if he can't build them up at least a little bit of a lead. About 60k here. And Florida halfway through. Not liking the way this pick is going for them. Decent amount of time left in it, of course. Two minutes plus still of this map to go. But right now, Virginia holds all the cards. Combo advantage, score advantage. Accuracy advantage does go to Florida, but not by a huge margin. But if BTMC breaks, Florida might be poised to pounce. And we'll have to see how long he can hold. Has been able to be the carry that Virginia needed so far in this match on the 2 points that they've won, and Fleslin finds a couple of breaks. BTMC getting helped out more and more as Florida just not having a great time here. Digital Hypno still with a combo, but BTMC and Tony doing fine for the Virginia side. There goes BTMC's combo at last. Assuming that was not a Bancho miss, we'll watch this combo, see if it shows back up. Tony on a 500 combo, though. Not that far behind Digital Hypno to the point where Florida can make a comeback on that score alone. It's going to need to be a break from Tony if Florida wants to have a chance at a comeback here. And it is. It does happen. The slider break and a couple misses right after. Now this gets very interesting because Florida has a 750 combo on Digital Hypno with which to try to claw back this gap. But unfortunately for them, Fleslin with a couple of breaks does not give them a lot of backing score. Failing with a 500 combo, not as far behind as Florida would like. Happy about matching BTMC. We're going to come into the very difficult ending with a 60k score gap between the teams. Is this going to be the break point for Virginia? It's going to require Florida to hold through the entire ending and several more misses. Tony and BTMC both do break, so failing's all that is left for Virginia, and the score gap is coming down quickly. It's 50k. Failing finds a break. That is going to open up the last second opportunity for Florida. Digital Hypno holding on to a 1200 combo into the ending. That is exactly what he needed to do. The lead goes the way of Florida. Cappy with a 700 combo to back it up after Digital Hypno breaks, and they are going to take the pick by the skin of their teeth here in the last moments, just barely managing to hold on to their own pick, barely taking the lead, and somehow, some way, finding a 4-2 lead. That looked doomed almost the entire way through, but a huge performance from Cappy and Digital Hypno at the ending there to just take it back their way and get the point. That last portion of that map is so hard that it was amazing from Florida that they were able to maintain the combos that they did on Cappy and Digital Hypno at the end. But that was enough. It is 4-2. Virginia has the next pick. They won consecutively on Nomad 2 and on Nomad 1 after dropping their first Nomad 6 pick. Maybe regretting that one. Maybe wishing they just started off Nomad 2 first pick, Nomad 1 second pick. You know, that would have avoided the early break point. I have to think that Nomad 6 was a little bit of a throwaway for them, so I'm not sure why that was their first pick. This match could look somewhat different if they hadn't dropped it. And Virginia going to stick with the mechanics, as you'd expect. This was kind of about all they would have here. It's Hard Rock 1, so they're just going to continue to pick into the mechanics. It's going to be Io Chikaishi Hime Kazari, which is the Hard Rock aim map in this pool. A lot of players, of course, going to be pretty familiar with this pick, I think. It's one that's been around for quite some time. Handsome map set. 7.1 stars. Another lengthy one. This one's 4 minutes, 10 seconds. We're going a lot of long picks. 4 minute 21 second Nomad 2, 3 minute 46 second Nomad 1, 4 minute 10 second, 4 minute 14 second Hard Rock 1 Nomad 4. So the players really being called upon for the consistency element of this on top of the raw difficulty of these maps. I mean, nothing here is easy. This map is no exception. It's going to require just that bit of precision, a lot of raw aim, at a decently difficult pace. I mean, 210 BPM is not fast for these guys, but it's fast enough to make you think. But in we go. It's failing Tony BTMC, skill Digital Hypno Exarch. Skill, of course, resident Hard Rock aim player for Florida, but Exarch and Digital Hypno quite good. BTMC, probably best known aim player, as we said before on Nomad 1 for Virginia. They're just going aim picks now. This one, trickier in its own way compared to Nomad 1. Higher BPM, smaller circle size, equally large aim in segments. It's going to require some bursts at this BPM that can be a little tricky. No breaks through the first 360 combo. And starting off well for all players. We'll get to the first Ki with no breaks from anyone. Florida just with the accuracy lead. They've been holding very good accuracy on a lot of these picks. But accuracy comes secondary to combo at the end of the day. So despite being very strong Hard Rock AC players, they've got to be strong Hard Rock AIM players as well. But that's going to help out for it. A lot of double break from Virginia. BTMC and Tony both dropping in this Ki. And now Florida will race to a 100,000 point lead instantly. Skill will find a break, so that's not over yet for Virginia. Failing is going to have to hold on and hope for some more misses on the Florida side. But the door's not quite slammed shut in their faces as of yet. Florida, though, is in that driver's seat. 150K lead. Hypno and Exarch still looking quite strong. 99.7, 99.6. Really good accuracy from both of them. All of Florida outshining the accuracy from Virginia. But like I was saying, it's really going to be about that combo. So how long can Digital Hypno Exarch hold? How long can Failing hold? And how well can BTMC, Tony, and Skill all build back up? The answer is not that well, I guess. Tony finding the next break. And lead's going to grow some more for Florida. 200K and expanding farther. Any break from Virginia now would spell disaster. If it's Failing, it's really GG on this map. If it's BTMC, it's more or less GG, but not guaranteed. With only a third of the pick left and a 300K lead, Florida's going to feel like they're in a very good spot for the rest of the map. Digital Hypno does find a break. Down to just 1 FC now on Exarch. Matching Failing. Up on accuracy by about 0.7%. Skill about 100 combo behind BTMC. But the 400K lead is the important thing here. 300K lead, excuse me, for Florida. Oh, it's a break from Skill and another miss from Digital Hypno. On that tricky little rhythm change, it throws something a little different at you out there. There's a little 1/3 rhythm. And that's a combo lead to Virginia, guys. Exarch with the FC still, but it's only gonna be about a... That's a 200K lead and dropping skill breaks. There goes Failing's FC, though. Oh, he needed to maintain that. Oh, he had to keep the FC, and he just was not able to. And now Exarch, still holding the FC for Florida, means that they will maintain the score lead, and it looks like they will have their second break point here in just a second. This genuinely could have gotten close at the end if Failing had FC'd, because he would have another 200K score. This could have been a coin flip in the last seconds of the map, but for that unfortunately timed miss. So a very sad turn of events for Virginia on this pick, because that could have been theirs. Exarch, though, the one miss, leading the way for Florida by 300,000 points, giving them a second break point and a 5-2 lead. They are now just 2 points from the finish line. Off a very close pick, but a break point nonetheless. And we will go on to the next pick from Florida as they look to make their way toward a match point. And they are going to go DT1. So we get Sakura Nozenya. Cherry Blossom diff. I didn't expect Florida to pick this. I will just say that. I did not think that this was a Florida pick. Not that they can't play it well, but I kind of thought they would have had other picks they would have gone for before this one. They will presumably do fine, but a 4-minute 267 BPM air 10.3 was not the pick I anticipated out of Florida. But they know their team very well. they have been playing pretty well on the day. We haven't seen. I mean, we just saw the one DT pick that they did win, but it wasn't like a giant one-sided thing. And this map is completely different. This is high BPM, raw aim, and burst streams at 10.3. This is again going to be a pick that we'll probably expect Tony to do well on. BTMC maybe as well, failing a little less familiar as a DT player, so you're gonna have to see how he does, but his aim has looked very good on the day. Skill Digital Hypno Exarch, you know, I don't traditionally think of Skill as a 10.3 DT guy, but again, they know their roster, they know their picks, they know what kind of scores they got in practice. And they felt this was the optimal pick for the situation at 5-2 up, double break point. You know, maybe this is the time you pick the map that's, you know, not the most favored, but one that you still think you can win with a 2 break point advantage on your side. But it's going to be a big question mark whether players can hit the streams in this, because they are 267 BPM. It is quite fast. Some of those bursts get to, I believe, 12 to 16 notes. Just let know the first break. It's an aim miss. Failing and Tony both miss. Failing on the stream, Tony immediately thereafter. That's the section that will get you if you're not careful, but Exarch and Skill both made it through. Skill breaking in the chorus, Digital finding another miss. And it is BTMC versus Exarch, the 2 remaining full combos. Tony with another break at the end of the Ki. It's going to be dead even coming out of the first chorus of the song. About a quarter of the way through, just passing that quarter-way mark. Things basically deadlocked. Skill Digital both finding breaks, but BTMC misses. That is tragic. You do not want to miss in the slower parts of this. Exarch obviously just held on fine. If you're going to break anywhere, it needs to be in the Ki's of this map, because the choruses, or the verses, excuse me, the choruses are so much harder than the verses. The verses, this is the most free combo you're going to see in this pick. Failing and Tony both doing a pretty good job of building back up, is failing to find the next break, unfortunately. Now it is all eyes on Exarch. Often capable of playing these DT1s very, very well. Winning them in 1v1s, carrying his team on them in team tournaments, and giving Florida a 100k score lead just past halfway. Doesn't feel safe yet by any means, but he's got the best combo, the only FC remaining. He's got the best accuracy in the lobby. He has to stay concentrated, though, because there is a lot of combos still to come. There is a fair amount of map left, a lot of score still on the board. And Virginia trying to close on them. 450-plus combo on BTMC, 500-plus combo on Tony. We'll just see what Florida mental is made of if they're able to keep these combos alive. We have a third of the map to go, and just shy of a 200k lead for Team Florida. Into the next chorus we go. Will we see breaks, or can Florida maintain? The answer seems to be that they can maintain what they need to keep this lead alive. Longer burst stream doesn't catch anyone out, all 6 players holding, and that might just do it right there. That could seal the deal. Skill finds a late miss, but I think we have seen Florida put up enough score that a comeback is not going to be forthcoming for Virginia. Even though they have 3 big combos, there is just not much circle density at the end of this map, and that is Exarch putting up a score and a half for Florida. Again, carrying them when he needed to with a full combo, assuming he doesn't troll miss at the ending. A full combo from Exarch here. Nearly FC's Hard Rock 1, does FC DT1, and that is huge for Florida, as they're going to take a 6-2 match point lead. Amazing stuff from Exarch. That is a huge score from him. The full combo on this map is nothing to scoff at. 98.4 AC as well, the best in the lobby. And a fun behind-the-scenes fact here for Florida on this map. Exarch actually changed the MP3 on this in the map file on his end because he doesn't like Kano. So he's playing with an MP3 that doesn't quite match the offset of the map on that pick, and he still was able to full combo it. which is like the most ludicrously based thing that I've ever heard of in my life. You FC carry a map with a different version of the song that the offset doesn't match up, and the song doesn't quite match up to the way this one is mapped. I mean, that's actually as based as it gets. That is the Exarch method right there. We're going to be calling it the Exarch method with that carry. 6-2 now, match point for Florida. Virginia, maybe a little bit of last hope here. DT2, I kind of expected them to pick this. It's the 251 BPM, very short DT map, raw speed requirement. And that is the domain of guys like Tony. UTMC failing, looking decent on speed as well. But Florida, similarly to Ohio, has that third player that can show up and do surprising things on speed. It's Almighty Door for Florida, much like Utuha for Ohio, the slightly more unsung player on that roster. Often comes in and does well on speed. So it is possibly the final pick in the winner's bracket here for Florida, or for Virginia, excuse me. Apologize. As they look to stay alive in this match, at least one more point on a very fast, very difficult speed pick. 251 BPM requires a lot. There are a couple of very long streams in this one, and some not so easy aim. Finger control going to be tested in addition, so it's just a little of everything that comes into that kind of left hand type of skill set. And it's already been 2 breaks from Virginia in the early stage of this, so Florida going to have a bit of a lead to work with through the first third. But this map doesn't end. It won't be over until it is well and truly finished, and we see that results screen. There are some very long streams that if you drop, you can fall off and lose some score. But so far, so good. Florida with a 400k lead. Not out of the woods yet, but feeling pretty decent. Past the halfway mark with a 379,000 point lead. Exarch 99 AC, Almighty Door 98 AC. Nobody over 96 for Virginia. That says a lot about this pick. And we might be seeing the end of this match coming in a hurry. They all hold. Florida three-way FCs through the long stream. Failing and Tony both break. That's going to do it. That is going to be the match right there. Florida, will they have the 3-way full combo is the only question left. It might be happening. Just put an exclamation point on this match. Why don't you, Florida? 3-way full combo, double time 2, and they close it out in style for a 7-2 win over Team Virginia. Florida, ladies and gentlemen, your first entrance into the grand finals. They are guaranteed a top 2 spot. Virginia will drop down to the losers bracket final at the hands of a remarkable performance from Team Florida on the day. Looking so strong on so many maps. They head onward for a date with destiny. Florida looking for their first USC win, looking to see if a team other than a California team can win USC for the first time ever. And with a performance like that, and the way that we've seen Ohio playing over the course of this tournament, it might just be happening. It might just be made possible this year. Florida, congratulations. Round of applause to them on a very strong performance. Virginia, yes, weakened, but Florida did exactly what they needed to do, played very well. They will go on to the grand finals. They will watch a couple matches left to find out who their opponent will be. So take a look at our bracket here. That is Florida in the grand finals. And they await a couple more matches. So they're going to await our match that's going to be in an hour's time. It's going to be South California versus Ohio in the losers round 7 match. The winner of that will go on to the losers grand finals, as they say in the bracket here, the losers finals, as I like to call it. They will be facing, the winner of that faces off against Virginia. Winner of that match, of course, makes their way up all the way to that grand final against Florida, who now have the advantage. They have the bracket reset on their side. They have momentum on their side. They have confidence on their side. The knowledge that they are playing so well. They are playing some great Osu. So, we have an hour's break now until SoCal versus Ohio. That one's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So we're going to be going off for a little while. But before you go, make sure to follow the stream so you know when we go back live for the next match in the losers bracket, and so you know when we go live, of course, next weekend with the grand finals weekend matches. Definitely go check out the VODs on YouTube so that if you're interested in what has happened so far in the tournament, you can check out every streamed match over the course of the last 6 weeks. And make sure to check out our sponsor for this year, HyperX. I'd like to extend a big debt of gratitude to them for sponsoring the prize pool, helping us out. They make some great peripherals. It's been great to have them and work with them over the course of this tournament. But other than that, I would like to thank everyone for being here. Extend a congratulatory note to Team Florida as they guarantee themselves a top 2 spot in USC 2021. Virginia, best of luck to them down in that losers bracket final next week. And we'll be back here in 1 hour's time for South California versus Ohio. Team of Utami on SoCal. Team of Kablaze in Ohio. That'll determine our last team to make the top 3. So we will see you guys in 1 hour's time for that last match of our weekend. Be there. You don't want to miss it.